Welcome to our session, sorry, on body sculpting. So today we'll be talking about a different thing related to body sculpting. So I'm sure most of us are aware that in pranic healing, we have a concept of body sculpting by which we can help to move, I don't know, move the right word, but basically to rearrange the body. Some of the things that comes to my mind is something called the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is a certain ratio that occurs in nature. And basically that ratio is there in, like, let's say, for example, our arms, the proportions of our body, the flowers, the leaves, the trees. Most things in nature follow the Fibonacci sequence. So what that brought to my mind is that when we are also seeking to do body sculpting, we also need to keep the Fibonacci sequence in mind. So let's just discuss that. So one of the things about uh, body sculpting is the presence of, obviously, what we call fat in different parts of the body. Now, fat is a important part of the body. It helps, it is the storage reserve of the body. Now, the problem is, like, as you would know, that if we store something for too long, not only does it become old, it also becomes somewhat useless, right? I mean, if you've got something sitting in your store for like 30 years, is really not useful. So the point is not that fat is bad. The point is that fat needs to be managed properly. And one of the ways that, and the body has many mechanisms of handling fat. What happens is that when we have certain patterns in our mind that prevent us from releasing that fat, that prevent us from releasing those emotions, that is when it begins to convert and begins to stay. So one of the things I want to talk about in this regard is a concept called hoarding. Hoarding is when we are basically storing things that we don't require, or at least are not. It's like storing too much stuff. So all of us have a tendency, perhaps, or most of us have a tendency to store certain things. Hoarding is when we store things and to some extent even forget about them. So rats, for example, are known to hoard a lot of grain and then they forget about it. And so they go and they hoard some more. So that's one thing about hoarding is we need to think of, are we hoarding? And the question is, why would we hoard? I mean, we live in a society where there is just food everywhere. There is, there's a lot of access to food. So why would we hoard? So the reason for hoarding comes from, according to Louis Hayes, comes from.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sorry, that was Siri. Um, so it comes from a feeling of fear, need for protection, and running away from feelings, insecurity, self-rejection, and seeking fulfillment. So, and the pattern that she suggests to help overcome this is, I am at peace with my own feelings. I am safe where I am. I create my own security. I love and approve of myself. So this one is, I think, very important. I love and approve of myself. So when it comes to body sculpting, or it comes to reshaping, it's like, we'll have a thought like, okay, I want to eat less, but that doesn't happen because then the craving begins to happen. So the point is, why does the craving begin to happen and why are we not able to eat less? The reason perhaps is because we feel that we're not going to get it again. So that is what I interpret as insecurity. Like, we feel we won't get it again later. Now, be aware that this could be something coming from childhood. This could be something coming from the womb. This could be something from a previous incarnation as well. So what is important, I think, is to just think back as to, when did I, the soul, start to think that my body is not being taken care of in terms of food. Okay. It can happen as young as in the cradle. Let's say, for example, when we are crying for milk and there's no one around. And sometimes these kind of traumas in babyhood can also lead to issues of body shape and body sculpting. So what do we do? Again, in the pranic healing system, we believe more in changing things. And our center also is called GMCKS Energy Transformers, which basically means that we transform the energy from something to something else. So the idea is, there are two ways of handling excess stuff. One is that you destroy it. You just disintegrate that material and then you completely make something new out of it. That is what I think Master Cho has referred to in his book, The Existence of God is self-evident as restoration. It's like remodeling, right? And the other way is to just take the material and to move it around in a different way where it just becomes more useful for us. So one of the ways to help us to release any excess fat that we may be storing in our body is to overcome the fear of not getting enough food. Okay. So you may think, no, that's not true. I mean, I have enough food. I mean, why am I bothered? Why am I bothered with it? It may not be there at a day-to-day level, but when food is in front of us, what do we think? Like, okay, let me have one more slice of chocolate cake. Okay, let me have one more, of this, or one more chapati. Or, the food today is so good. Oh, let me eat some more. So it's like, we want to eat more today because the food is good. So what does that mean? We feel that the food will not be good tomorrow. We also feel that this food will not be available after a few days. And that is why we want to, eat a lot. So, food, of course, is a very important part of body sculpting. The other thing that I feel is that replacing foods that are harmful for us with foods that are good for us is a really fantastic way of dealing with the situation. So, one of the things that I have done with myself and I try to suggest to others is don't think so much about not eating. Okay, think more about what to eat that will actually give nutrition to your body. So what I mean by that is, let's say for example, you have planned to have an omelette for breakfast or whatever. If you're a vegetarian, then whatever you're having, like chura, upma, whatever it is, just determine that before you eat that, you're going to have a glass of fresh juice, or you're going to have a fruit, not the Tetra Pak juice, like the real juice, like real as in not the brand. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to like. Okay, you know what I mean. Just fresh juice, like you create the juice with your own hands. Okay, you take a fresh fruit and you squash it and you take out the juice, or you tell yourself that okay, I'm going to eat like a certain amount of fruit, or I'm going to eat fruit till 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then after that I'm going to start eating my meals. The other suggestion I have is, instead of reaching for a packet of chips, let's say for example we keep some dry fruit with us, like almonds or walnuts or kishmish, something like that, or just an apple. Again, my friend Devain at Rainbow has some fantastic apples available right now, but anyway, so the idea is that before we reach for that packet of chips, let's just tell ourselves, okay, so I tell myself, like, okay, you can have the packet of chips, Sheetal, but before that, finish your juice, or have a fruit, or have a walnut or something like that. So what we are doing is two things. One is we are teaching ourselves self control gently. We are not saying that we won't give you the chocolate cake. We are saying that we will eat this healthy food and then we'll eat chocolate cake. Okay, so that does two things. One is that when we eat food that actually has what Master Shore refers to as prana, then the body automatically, firstly, is satisfied. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight. It's something we're going to have to build into our life. It's a lifestyle change. And once the body already has received that level of prana in itself, then the craving for the other foods will also start to reduce. So it's a two-way process. I like the idea generally of reaching for something better rather than talking only about leaving things. Because, again, when we talk about leaving things, again, the insecurities probably get triggered at a subconscious level. It's like, oh, now I have to leave this also. Okay, how am I going to manage? Instead of that, let's give ourselves better quality food, healthier food, and then say, okay, once you've done eating this healthy food, you can have whatever else you want. And slowly over time, once the body is satisfied with the food that it's getting, with the nutritional requirements, then what will happen is that the body will no longer crave as much for potato chips or whatever it is. I mean, it's okay to enjoy once in a while, but we are dealing with body sculpting, so we're dealing with how to reorganize the body. And what will happen is once we start giving the body healthy food and the body begins to receive good food, it will start to release the stores of stuff that is no longer probably required, probably not useful, and then the body will start to release it from the reserves. So that's one. And so food is, of course, as we say, a very important part of it. We also offer body sculpting in pranic healing. Body sculpting, again, is a method for helping the body to get reshaped, and we can do that with pranic healing. Okay, so and also for those of us who are healers, body sculpting is a course that we do after we do pranic crystal therapy, which we do after psychotherapy, which we do after advanced pranic healing, which we do after basic pranic healing. So that's the whole chain for you. And body sculpting is very, very effective, and it's just a beautiful way of reorganizing our body to something that we want. And going back to the Fibonacci sequence, let's be aware that our body has certain proportions, and let's not be unrealistic about what we want from our body. Let's just be nice, and let's just release the insecurities related to food. And hopefully that will help us to solve, you know, some of our issues. Those were some of the psychosomatic reasons, and now we will go to the next step. Also be aware that the exercises that we do in our pranic healing system, they're very simple exercises, and the exercises are basically geared towards helping us clear, the joints. So again, it enables us to move more smoothly. And once we're able to move more smoothly, hopefully we can move on to higher and higher levels of exercise. Let's be aware of our heart, our crown, and our hands. Let us bless ourselves with confidence. Let's bless ourselves with the ability to have faith in the Supreme God, to have faith in the Sola Parabrahman, to provide for everything that we require. Let us release our fears. Let's absorb energy. Let's bless ourselves. Let's cover ourselves with the feeling of security, like a blanket of security. Once we have the security of God, the security of light, the security of prana, perhaps we can start to shed the layers of flat that are trying to protect us. Let's be aware of our financial targets. When we want to sculpt our body, what are the financial changes that we need to make? Perhaps some of those financial changes will lead us to eat healthier and will perhaps help us to save more. Less medical expenses, more health. Let's bless our health target. Let's be aware that when we are healthy, we can work more, enjoy more. Let's be aware of our relationship targets. Sometimes our body image interferes with good relations. That's because of our own insecurity. Let's say, for example, we like somebody and we want to approach them, but we don't feel confident because of our body. Then, that relationship doesn't even start. So let's be aware of the role of our body in relationships. Let's bless ourselves with the right relationships. Let's also bless ourselves to overcome our own self-image and to look at relationships as they are. Let's be aware on our inner beauty in relationships and focus less on the outer beauty. Let's bless our spiritual target. Our spiritual target could include something like, I want to be able to handle more energy coming from the Supreme God. I want to be able to handle more work coming from my guru, my teachers. For that, I need a strong physical body. So, our physical body has a role to play in our spiritual target as well. We need to be able to, sit in a class for 2 days, enjoy the class, learn, be alert. All of that is supported by our body. Let's bless our body. Let's fill ourselves with gratitude. We have a body. Let's also visualize any deposits in our body slowly and gently melting. Let them be transported through the blood, through the various mechanisms that this fantastic instrument called the human body has, and to be taken to other parts of the body where they can be effectively used to make us more beautiful on the inside and make us more shapely on the outside. Let's visualize all excess deposits melting, flowing, going where they need to go. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's also bless the entire planet Earth affected by the COVID-19 virus. May everyone affected by the virus be healed. May all the planets, all the countries release their fears. May the Supreme God, may we all have faith in the Supreme God, in the divine plan. Let us flow with the plan, the divine plan. Let us also resolve to heal those of us who have done basic pranic healing. Let's resolve to heal at least one person, and that one person can also be ourselves. Every day, one pranic healer per family. And among those of us who have not done the workshops yet, we encourage you to join at your closest center or for online workshops that may be coming up soon. Let's bless the work of Master Choka Sui. He has provided us with this beautiful, beautiful idea of pranic healing, of repairing our energies, and filling ourselves with great power. Inhale and exhale. Let's massage our face, our scalp, neck, shoulders and arms, chest, the kidneys at the back, the hip, the thighs, the knees. Wake up the entire body. How do you feel about your body? Hopefully you feel nicer about it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Neck rotation side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Upper body twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hip rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Spine bendings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hand rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Elbow flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wrist rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Other way. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stretch your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Knee flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Foot rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Please clap. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Devapriya. So that was our set of exercises. So these are very simple exercises. We encourage everyone to do this set of exercises. You can do it several times a day. What it will do is that it will start to loosen up the body. These are very simple. Anyone with any kind of ailment usually is able to do these exercises. They're very simple. Okay, so I hope this was useful and we will continue with our series. So thank you so much.